Fun fact, this bright pink makes my eyes look like they are puffy from afar. Not the best choice I've ever had, but we're going with it. Hey there. Soft Canon is good and we need more of it. Now, I think that this is probably actually a controversial subject for some people because have you ever actually seen fandom wars? Canon is the most precious thing to a fandom. And I'm screwing them all over. So, what exactly is soft canon? Well, let's define hard canon. Hard canon is when facts are facts, essentially. This happened in canon, so it's a fact of canon. Anything that might have altered, that altered not a good word. Let me try that one again. Anything that contradicts it in later seasons, books, any later edition is wrong. Or the previous thing is wrong. You can't make a mistake in hard canon. Soft canon has no mistakes because nothing is set in stone. You could say one thing about a character or a set piece or anything in one part and completely contradict it in another, and it works because the point of soft canon is not continuity. It is not to tell a cohesive story. It's to tell a story in the moment. There are two amazing examples of soft canon, and I think the best one, my favorite, is S&D tier on TikTok. S&D tier is the softest of canon. I have seen the creator contradict things left and right. The characters have had multiple different birthdays, though that's for reasons outside of canon. Just things are constantly changing, and it's so that the best story can be told in each specific video. And it's fun. There's a pick your own canon to it. You can believe this or you can believe that because it doesn't matter. And to a lesser extent, but still definitely a soft canon, is the Sandersides series. Sandersides is absolutely soft canon, and that's because of its origins. It was never intended to be a series. Thomas created a video to just better get to know himself. Well, for us to get to know him better. And people love the characters, so they made another appearance. And they made another appearance. And now there's seasons. Now there's lore. And there's a lot of contradicting stuff. Logan smiles in the first few episodes. He's emotionless now. Patton has done a 180 in who he is, going from the responsible dad to the kid of the group. Everybody has gone through changes that were important to tell the story. Sure, it contradicts what came before it, but that's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter. Sure, there's definitely times where hard canon is definitely important. I've started rewatching Once Upon a Time lately, and it kind of annoys me how they can be a little loose with canon sometimes, because that is definitely a story that needs to be in hard canon. You have two paralleling stories, the past and the present, and it doesn't work for that to be soft canon. It has to be planned out. But that doesn't mean soft canon is bad. And I personally really enjoy these different series that do contain soft canon. It's not something you come by often. It's just not something a lot of people are interested in because we are so focused on this is right, this is wrong, a work can't contradict itself. But why can't a work contradict itself? Why can't you just decide the thing I said was canon is no longer canon because it doesn't work for the story, and then, oh, now it works for the story, so it's back to canon? It's fun. That's the best word I can come up with. It's fun. And it allows, actually, for a much more interactive experience. You'll find various works of fan fiction or fan art that the creator even says, we're ignoring this bit of canon because it doesn't work with the story they're trying to tell. Just imagine if you got to pick and choose your canon like that. It's a lot of fun. I would love to write a story with loose canon, but my mind just wants to fill in every plot hole there is and make everything cohesive. Maybe I could just let it go someday and just make a soft canon story. I think that would just be so freeing. Just make whatever works best regardless of what came before. It's an enticing idea to me. But wait, you're probably saying, S&D Tier is just a TikTok series. Sandersides is just a YouTube series. This couldn't actually work for television or movies or books. Canon needs to be there for legitimate stories, right? Why? I mean, these are legitimate stories being told in a specific medium, but they aren't exclusive to those mediums. Soft canon could be told in any medium. Take Rick Riordan, for example. His stuff is not exactly soft canon. It is a hard canon, except when it comes to timeline. He's been making stories for Percy Jackson and friends for the past, let me do this math, 15 years. 15. Someone born when Percy Jackson was made, when it was first published. Well, when the series ended, they would be a sophomore, but they're getting ready to graduate high school now. And the characters have aged 5 years. 5. Not a big deal. This happens all the time. But the present they're in depends on the present the books were published. There's references to The Walking Dead in House of Hades, even though the Walking Dead television series didn't premiere when those would have taken place. There's references to Hunger Games by Leo, even though the movies wouldn't have been released yet. Which, by the way, is part of my headcanon that he was actually a big reader and that he read those. He didn't watch the movies. That just being said, the timeline adjusts for the current time the reader is when the book was published. And sometimes it can feel frustrating, like, how is there not a solid timeline? But it's really interesting, too. He's not going to keep the characters in the early 2000s because none of the readers growing up with it now are in the early 2000s. He wants to make it for the present audience. I think there's something just really interesting about soft canon that I want explored more. There's this interesting thing I remember hearing. When they made Monsters University, there was actually a scene with Sully and Mike in 4th grade together. But ultimately, that scene had to be cut to tell a better story. It didn't work with the story they were telling. Yeah, people got frustrated. What about this one throwaway line? That one throwaway line doesn't affect the story. It doesn't. It didn't matter in Monsters, Inc. It actively would have worsened the Monsters University movie. It had to be let go. I don't think that necessarily has to be a problem. Of course, with some series, it is a problem. It can change the outcome of a character, the outcome of a story. We need hard canon. But we don't need everything to be hard canon. I'm trying to persuade you here. I'm not going to lie. I want more people to enjoy soft canon so that we have more soft canon to enjoy. Take comic books. Comic books are the softest of canon. They change from this to that to this and that, and there's contradictions everywhere. It's a mess. And it's a beautiful mess. I don't read comic books. I prefer other mediums of superheroes, but you know what I love? I love the Bat family. I specifically love various bits of fandom Bat family because people got to pick and choose their favorite parts of various canon and meld it together into their own personal creation. And you know what I did? I took bits and pieces of their personal creation and I've made it my own. I have my own headcanons for the Bat family. It's fun. And I've never even picked up a comic book. That is what soft canon is about. Soft canon is about seeing a story with contradictions and going, well, I like this contradiction, so it's mine. You like that contradiction, you can have it, this one's mine. It's like a build your own story. And it's a beautiful way for fandom to exist. This was a lot of fun. I didn't know where I was going to go with this when I started talking. I was just thinking, soft fandom, go for it. You love it. And I started talking, and now this video exists. I love having a YouTube channel. And I hope that you guys enjoy watching my videos because I enjoy making them. Even if I've been slow to make them. But I'm doing better and I'm having fun. So I hope you guys are too. And I hope you go out there and find some soft canon to enjoy because it is amazing. Trust me. And until next time, I will see you later.